What's up everybody, Trinity here and welcome back to the 2nd Street Marvel. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing Resonant, issue number 3. Now before I get into that, please make sure you're subscribed, click the little bell and all of that good stuff. Now, Resonant, issue number 3. This book is being published by Vault Comics, and in case you guys haven't noticed, I really like everything they're doing over there at Vault Comics. If there's anybody out there from Vault Comics watching these videos, I want you guys to know you guys are doing one hell of a job. Keep up the great work. So Resonant, this book is being written by David Andry. The artist is Alejandro Aragon, and Jason Wordie is the colorist, and the letterer is Darren Bennett. And I'll go ahead and show you their names right there at the very beginning of the book. I've got to tell you guys, man, this series has been absolutely great. Now I've got to tell you, it's somewhat of a horror story, not so horrorish, but I don't know, maybe more of a thriller. It's a post-apocalyptic type of future, and basically what has happened is there's like these what they call waves that go out there and they kind of possess people, and we find a little bit more out about these waves in this book. And kind of what it does is these waves, they go over and it comes every now and again, and you can see there on the cover, they have like these cicadas, or they call them chirpers, and what they do is they start to chirp every time these waves are getting ready to come around, so the people know to be prepared and take whatever precautions. It's like their early warning system. Take precautions to be able to resist these waves, because what happens is these waves come along and it basically makes you act out upon like any kind of violent thoughts that you have in your head. And so what we learn in this book is that the one way to avoid it is what a lot of people do is, what I've noticed is they'll chain themselves up so where they can't, like scratch themselves to death or anybody else or anything like that. Just, so they're not acting on any of their violent impulses that they have floating around their head. Or there is the other way is you could actually just take and just have a singular thought in your head, and just concentrate on that one thing. Or the other thing is you could get into a zen place by just basically like clearing out everything in your head, which is something that's obviously not so easily done. So through the course of this story, we have seen that Paxton has 3 kids, and that's the main character in the story, the guy here on the cover. He has 3 kids, an older daughter, whose name, what's her name, is Beck, or probably Rebecca, I'm guessing. He's got her brother is named Ty, who is the younger one, and then the youngest one is named Steph. Now Steph has like a debilitating illness, something that he needs medicine for, and so basically Paxton had to go and leave his children at home for a few days till he traveled to a town so he could get the medicine for his son, and he met some interesting characters along the way. Now that's all what happened in the past 2 issues. He ended up going to this town and ended up getting caught up with some people who were trying to who said they had medicine for him, and he ended up getting captured. And then his kids, who are at home kind of fending for themselves, and you can see like his oldest daughter is an amputee. She's missing half of one of her legs. She's walking around, has like I'm not even sure what they call them, but they're, kind of like, I can't even think of what they're called right now. I wanted to say stilts, but they're like, the little crutches that you see, but not the full ones that go under your in your arms. Well, anyway, but she's very able-bodied. Her kids and her brothers, they're very strong-willed, strong-minded. These kids are very able-bodied, and that's one thing I definitely like out of this story. So we see that here the kids are actually at odds. They're starting to fight with each other, and one of the kids actually even takes off. That is Ty, who is like the oldest of the brothers, ends up taking off. Him and his sister were fighting. He told her to F off, and she tells him, "I hope you die," and he ends up taking off into the forest. And this isn't necessarily a good thing, as these waves have become more frequent and more heavy. So they're definitely in kind of a situation. Now Paxton, who has been caught, he ends up on this ship. He wakes up on the ship. Him and his dog. He has a companion that he met along the way. They're on the ship after they'd been caught by their captors, and he's chained up. And we can see that while they're there, they get caught in one of these waves, and they end up losing one of the other people who had been caught as well. Ends up dying, just from the wave hitting him and him, just taking it out on himself. And so, he's sitting there, and he meets somebody who we believe, it seems like he's familiar with this person. And gosh, and I can't even remember what her name is in here, but I'm going to go ahead and show you a picture of her in here. Let's see, it's right here. He meets this lady there on the boat, and it seems like they have they're somewhat familiar. Her name is Claire, and he keeps calling her Doc, and she is a doctor. And they kind of explain what was going on when the first waves hit. She was actually just got out of medical school, was just getting into her residency, and she was getting ready to perform her first operation when the first wave hit. Now, and my best guess here is that this lady Doc, or Claire, as Paxton is calling her, I'm kind of guessing that it's his ex-wife and possibly the mother of his children. It's just what I'm guessing, just from some of the things that have gone on in the story. So they're on this ship, and they end up getting their captors. They land on this island, and their captors take them out. And they're there kind of getting acquainted with this guy, Honcho, who is the head of, the head of these people. He's the leader. And they're on this island, and, he has a device that they use for their people anytime these waves come to hit. And they're somewhat like a straitjacket. It's like it looks like a half, like a girdle almost, and it has like these cuffs on the side. And he's telling them basically, when these waves hit, you go and you lock yourself up. And when the wave is over, if you're okay, I'll unlock you and you'll be cool. But don't try to run. And so he puts somebody in one of these jackets and tells them to run to get away from the island. Somebody that's scared. And naturally, this person goes and runs away and tries to swim out. Swim away from the island, and they have it booby trapped. There's barbed wire fences and poles just sticking out, just spears there to, if they try to swim away, they're going to end up getting caught on them and killed. And we can kind of see here through this story that Paxton, he looks like he's probably army trained, or at least probably in karate, probably actually in the martial arts, because he has a way of getting to that Zen place. And So him and Claire try to start a ruckus to escape this island, and we can see by the end of the book that they are unsuccessful. And that's really about all that goes on in this book. And I've got to tell you guys, I really like this book. The art in it is great. It really, to me, it helps serve the purpose of the story of what's going on here in this kind of post-apocalyptic, horrific kind of future. It's just really good stuff. Here, let me get another. I got to get you another shot of this stuff too. Like when the waves hit, it's really great stuff. You can see right there, as you can see, kind of like the cicadas or the chirpers are sitting there chirping as things are going, as this wave is hitting. Absolutely horrific, and that's kind of a lot of what the art is throughout this book. Just really great stuff. I'm telling you, just really good art, really well colored. The storytelling in this series has been absolutely great. Once again, they end this story on a really great cliffhanger that leaves me wanting to read the 4th issue. I'm telling you guys, I can't preach enough about the good job that they're doing over there at Vault Comics. I haven't read a title on Vault Comics yet that that has let me down. They're just all really good. But let me know down in the comments below. Have you read Resonant? If not, is it something that you might be into? Well, anyway, let me know down in the comments below. That's all I have for this video today, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning into the 2nd Street Marvel. If you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed and click that little bell so you get notifications anytime I have uploaded new content. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you don't, give it a thumbs down. It's all good. But while you're at it, make sure you share it with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the 2nd Street Marvel. You all have a very good day. Happy reading. Get out and support your local comic book shop, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.